It's Wednesday, May 14th. God smiled on the Mavericks. They drew the first pick in the NBA draft lottery. Now I'm kind of wondering what they might do with it.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? Let us show you how to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design and risk management with income-generating investments designed to accelerate your financial independence. Let us develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you so you can retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which is designed to help drastically reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
To begin, let's go back 3.5 months to that bombshell Luka Doncic trade. At the time, the Mavs were 26 wins and 23 losses. Immediately, major injuries destroyed whatever possibility there was of that Maverick team competing. Had Luka's trade not happened, the Mavs were on their way to a 43-39 season, 44-38. They'd still been in the play-in game. And had they lost, they'd have been in the lottery. But with that record, instead of having the 11th best chance in the lottery, they'd have had the 14th. It would have put them behind Sacramento, Chicago, and Atlanta. That would mean the odds of getting the number one pick would shrink significantly. Note that those three teams that Dallas would have been better than were not. They were not, because the injury had the Mavericks slip to 13-20 after the Luka deal and finish in 10th place. The picks of those three teams that Dallas had not passed, that were numbers 12, 13, and 14 this year, Dallas was 11, they finished with picks 12, 13, and 14. They were not lucky to draw into the lottery. But now, Dallas can choose the wonderkind, Cooper Flagg, 18 years old. He is incredible offensively, handles the ball, can shoot, can rebound, can run, and at the other end of the floor, he's solid defensively. Where does he fit with the Mavs? Well, the forward room is pretty crowded now on this team. They have a lot of good forwards with Davis and Washington and Najee Marshall and Caleb Martin and Max Christie and Olivier Maxence Prosper. But this forward, Cooper Flagg, can assist with ball handling. So that will take some pressure off the point guards in this offense. But for just a moment, tap the brakes on Cooper Flagg. He's not going to be a superstar in Game 1. In fact, he may not even be a starter in Game 1. He might come off the bench to begin his career. But he won't be on that bench very long, believe me. The core of the Mavs going forward, the real youth of the Mavs, now looks like this. Cooper Flagg, center Derek Lively, he's good. Max Christie, he's good. And Olivier Maxence Prosper, he really looked like he improved before he got injured last year. All those players are 22 years old or younger. And they fit. Everything fits with the current core of veterans. Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson. But with Spencer Dinwiddie, a free agent to be, those three Mavs veterans, Davis, Irving, Klay Thompson, are the only players on the Mavericks roster who have reached 30 years old. But this Maverick team with Flagg and with health isn't a serious title contender. I think it is, because they can score, but they can play defense also. But let me try out another idea with you before I finish. A radical idea of what Dallas might do with that number 1 pick. As I said, this team's deep at forward. And with Irving probably going to miss the first half of the year, this club needs now and going forward a point guard who can run the show. And when Irving's well, can play next to him in the offense. San Antonio has the number 2 pick. We'll get to who that player might be for Dallas in a minute. San Antonio is the number 2 pick. They don't need that next best player to Cooper Flagg. That's a guard from Rutgers named Dylan Harper. He's 6'6". For a good part of this year, Dylan Harper was in the discussion of who should go number 1 in this draft, Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper. But now that discussion's ended. It's Cooper Flagg. And then, pretty clearly, Dylan Harper second. But see, San Antonio doesn't need Dylan Harper. They already have a brilliant pair of guards in De'Aaron Fox and the Rookie of the Year, Stephen Castle. What San Antonio really needs is Cooper Flagg. So, would Dallas consider, honestly, a trade of Cooper Flagg? They say no right now. The Mavs have immediately said no, they're not going to trade the pick. I'm not sure that's terribly wise. I think that I'd leave the door open for some other team to do something really dumb in the trade market. But I'd want that team to be San Antonio. And here's why. Dylan Harper is a wonderful player. So Dallas would get him for swapping number 1 for number 2. But San Antonio has lots of picks. So what if for Cooper Flagg, Dallas could get Dylan Harper, Atlanta's unprotected number 1 in 27. That could very well be a lottery pick. San Antonio's pick in 28. And in 29, the right to swap their pick with Sacramento's, which also might be a lottery pick that year. And one more thing, because Dallas could use, I think, a second in 28. San Antonio owns New Orleans number 2, and that figures to be a very, very high number 2.
Okay, I'm not a cook, but my beautiful Mary is, and I must tell you that we've fallen in love with Opa seasonings. That's Opa, O-P-A. Make healthy meals that taste wonderful. Opa's all natural. We use it on meat, fish, chicken, salad, veggies. Just sprinkle, cook, and enjoy. And we found a little Opa goes a long way. Order your Opa now from the website opafoods.com and use the promo code NORM, that's me, and get 10% off your order. Delicious meals, all natural, and save some money. What is not to love about Opa seasonings? In 1993, Bob opened the original Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon Avenue. 32 years later, the original Bob still greets you at the original Bob's. And now his sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch has opened in McKinney. Same fantastic beef and fresh seafood at these two Bob's, each run by the Bob's Steak and Chop House.
So, Dallas gets a terrific player in Dylan Harper, and they immediately refill their bag of future draft picks. It's just an idea. It's not going to happen, but it's an idea. Just wanted to float it out there for you. But, while it may sound good, I suspect that Dallas is probably a bit too gun-shy to make another blockbuster trade just a few months after the Doncic trade, and then have to deal with the fallout again.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle, by Bob's Steak and Chop House, and by Opa Seasonings. Savor the flavor in your food.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitzges.